Hello AI enthusiasts. I'm back with something new for you today. I developed a new agent for CorelDRAW. But I hope the episode will be interesting not only for people involved in graphics, because I want to discuss one interesting mechanism that I used. The agent will build up its knowledge base. So without further ado, let's begin. A few words about the technology. I won't dive deep into it right now, since we can dedicate a whole episode to that later. This is just a teaser. I'm using the Agent Development Kit as the AI framework, and the model is Gemini 3 Flash. Why Flash? Well, it's currently the best model available at a reasonable price, and it's super fast. Why Corel? I have a special fondness for CorelDRAW, a program I have used for a very long time. It's fantastic for working with vector graphics and creating all sorts of things like publications, business cards, flyers, and more. It has been on the market for almost 40 years. Okay, as you can see, I've prepared a text on a page, and now I'm launching my agent. It's one of the benefits of ADK, where we get a web interface without any additional effort. I can create a separate episode about ADK if there's enough interest. Okay, the web interface has already started, so I can go to the browser and enter a prompt. First, I'd like to check whether the artificial intelligence can operate on an existing document, so I'll ask for changes to my text. Specifically, I want the color changed, font enlarged, and the text centered on the page. This will show that the agent actually has an understanding of existing objects and their spatial placement. The agent has started running and has activated the first tools. It's best to watch the changes directly in CorelDRAW. The color and font have been changed, and the text is now centered, so I can say the task is complete. But something is still happening. I see that the font has actually gotten smaller. Let's see what's happening in the agent interface. The agent is still working, and I see it's executing some code. Let's see what changes. Okay, it changed color once again. We can consider this correct because the color wasn't specified, so we have the proper result. Finally, the agent verified the result visually. Let's move on to the next task and the next document. I'm clearing the document to kick off the new session with a fresh start. We did the first exercise to see if the agent could handle existing objects. Now let's challenge it to create something entirely from scratch. I'm asking it to draw a house without providing any specific details. Let's head back to CorelDRAW again to check out the progress. Yes, this is definitely a house. A very simple house. So, is that it? As you can see, it finished already. Let's see what else can be improved. A lot depends on how we structure the prompt. In my case, I keep the prompts quite simple, which gives the agent plenty of freedom. This often leads to simple designs. The environment started to appear, just as I asked. Notice that the house hasn't been changed. Only new elements are being added to the existing drawing. It's pretty common for the agent to start drawing something, get stuck at a certain point, take a step back to see how it looks, and then make some corrections, usually by removing certain elements first. As you can see, with each iteration it draws more. Let's see if this is the end, or if we can expect something more. It's the end, but let's try improving this picture one more time. Just a quick remark. What you're seeing here are some basic examples. Of course, we've got to start somewhere, but remember, the potential of artificial intelligence is much larger than this. These are just our initial experiments. Keep also in mind that this is Gemini 3 Flash. It's not the smartest model out there, but when it comes to speed, its capabilities are impressive. For agent-type tasks, it's often the best choice thanks to its excellent performance. Here's another instance where the model paused, only to start reconstructing the drawing from scratch again a moment later. Is the drawing nicer the way I asked for it? You could say yes because it has tonal transitions that change its appearance. Is it a radical change? Probably not necessarily. Alright, but even though this is just an experiment, a kind of proof of concept, we're not designing an agent to draw little houses. I'm clearing the page now to move on to the next more practical task. And what practical things can be done using CorelDRAW? We can design something, for example, a business card. Once again, I'm not getting into specifics, not even about what information should be on the business card. Agent will handle that, which is pretty typical. But my prompt also doesn't lay out any guidelines for designing business cards or other printed material. The artificial intelligence just knows it based on the model's wisdom. Still, it's not flawless. If someone wants to create a serious tool for design, it'd be smart to set specific rules to fit their needs in system prompt. And remember, there are no universal rules. Design styles can vary. The folks who worked on the design might smile or breathe a sigh of relief. However, as I mentioned, this is just a proof of concept. Our focus isn't on the design quality, but on the technical ability to control the application. You have to admit, the agent did a job handling the task. We've got the business card in a standard format all set up. And this is just the beginning. We can definitely try something more complex next. Like always, I clear the page, but I could just as easily ask the agent to do it. By the way, I could also ask agent for help in finding rarely used options in menu or minor tasks like updating colors. This is the future. Let's move on to the next, more complex task. I'm asking the agent to create a calendar for 1 month. It's a bit more complex this time because there are more elements than before, and they'll need to be arranged evenly. Otherwise, any imperfections will be instantly noticeable. The agent decided to change the page format to one that's more suitable for a calendar, which was a smart move. I'll enlarge the view a bit to see better what has been created. Okay, I see that the agent hasn't finished yet and is making some corrections. I see that this time it decided to add a background and highlight the weekends. You have to admit, this isn't really a task that needs any artistic flair anymore, but doing it by hand would be super time-consuming. Sure, there are generators for calendars, but the agent can easily take their place by adding a strong personal touch to the project. And we may have additional requirements. I'm asking it to add the name days to the calendar. Let's see if it works. Okay, but here I started to wonder about one thing. Let's go back to the agent. Oh, this is a great example. Here we can see the agent using a subagent to search for information online. In this case, it's looking up a name day list. What's interesting is that it's specifically asking for Polish or Slovak names. Oh, right. Name days might not be a thing everywhere and could be popular only in certain countries. Let me know in the comments if name days are celebrated in your country, and if they're included on your calendars. In the meantime, we got a response with a list of names, so the agent can start adjusting the calendar. As you can see, the drawing started from the beginning, and this time, at the bottom of each day, there is a name. Let's enlarge a bit to see the details. As you can see, the names are well matched and properly centered, maintaining the necessary margins at the bottom. We see that the agent decided to draw everything again for some reason. It probably thought that something was not perfect yet. All right, now picture this. Instead of just giving a simple prompt, I provided specific details like how the page should look, what colors to use, and the exact sizes and placements of elements. An AI-based assistant would be super helpful with that, don't you think? It's finished. In the summary, we have an explanation of why Slovak names were used. Fair enough? All right. But now it would be good to talk a bit about the technical aspects. So maybe it would be most reasonable if I clear everything once again and ask the agent for something simple. Then we'll trace exactly what it does. I want something super simple, like drawing 3 circles. The ADK web interface will be really useful for us for this, because it offers complete observability. We can see both how the tools are used and what their output is. Look at the speed! Watch how quickly Gemini 3 Flash operates and calls tools. At the beginning, the agent uses the read snippets function. Here's what it outputs, a list of sample codes. I'm showing the source of it for a clear view. You're probably a bit surprised to see Python syntax instead of Visual Basic or JavaScript, but we'll come back to that in later episodes if the comments indicate there's a need for it. Please pay attention to 2 things. First, that each code snippet begins with a comment explaining what it is for. And second, that the code usually returns some text understandable by a human or AI. This file is the agent's knowledge base. Without it, the agent struggles to perform even some simple tasks. It can still handle them, but usually with lots of adjustments and by looking up solutions online. The agent invoked the read snippets and get document info tools in parallel. Let's look at the output from the latter. Here it is. We can, for example, read information about what the current unit is, the number of pages, and importantly, the page format. In this case, it is vertical A4. That's 210 by 297 millimeters. One of the most important tools is execute code, which allows the artificial intelligence to run a script on my local Corel. Note that the agent doesn't have any tools related to object manipulation. It performs everything using code. This experience comes from my WebBrowser AI agent, where code generation works great. Here, I decided to take the same approach. Look, here the agent has prepared code to be executed. And here is the tool's response, which says that 3 circles have been drawn. These 2 functions, getActivePagePreview and getDocumentObjects, essentially serve as the agent's way of seeing. Since Gemini is multimodal, it's useful to check the situation with an image. Still, having a list of all objects is important too, as it lets you reference them programmatically and find their exact locations. Here we have a tool responsible for the process of training the agent. Well, kind of. I have already shown a list of code snippets that serve the agent as a knowledge base. However, what is important is that every time the agent determines that it has executed a script that contributes something new to the knowledge base, it can simply add that script to the list. Then next time, it will already be aware of this new type of operation. Here is the script that the agent wants to save to the knowledge base. In our source file containing code snippets, it is placed at the very end. So the mechanism works, and it works well, because without this knowledge base, the agent clearly performs worse. Over time, as it gains experience, operations become much smoother. Let's take a look for a moment at these 3 circles directly in CorelDRAW. They are filled with the basic CMY colors: yellow, magenta, and cyan. We can see the color definition here. When preparing a work for printing, we often have to change the colors. For example, to Pantone system. The agent ran the first script, but it looks like something went wrong because it's running again. Yep, as shown in the output, an error occurred. In subsequent executions, we have information that the operation was successful. However, the agent opens a preview, including a list of objects, to make sure this is true. And apparently the verification failed, because it's doing something again. Here is the script that was sent to Corel, but the output will be certainly more interesting. It's clear that color conversion is still a weak point for the agent. Okay, let's take a look at the list of objects right away. This may not be intended for humans to read, but we'll manage. It's clear here that we have a Pantone colored fill, but here we have some black, and our color is here with hash. So not everything has been converted to Pantone yet. And here we have magenta, so definitely not Pantone either. But in the meantime, something else has been done and we have another iteration. Yellow Pantone is here. Here the equivalent of our magenta in the Pantone system. And at the end we have cyan. Yes, this time everything was listed correctly. And the agent summarized the changes. Just in case, let's check in the document just to be sure that everything is correct. Yellow Pantone. Everything okay. The same for magenta and for blue. So the agent completed the task fully correctly, although it did not go without problems. All right, it's about time for a quick summary. First off, I'm happy to report that this proof of concept went off without a hitch. Plus, the Gemini 3 Flash served as a great model for this. While the Pro version might offer better accuracy, it would definitely be slower. I'm really satisfied with how the agent builds the knowledge base. It genuinely works, and over time you can see its performance improving. But to be completely honest, it's not me who should be judging this project, but you, dear viewers. Do you see any potential in it? Of course, keep in mind that this is only a proof of concept. However, seeing that I can build an agent that's starting to handle certain tasks, imagine what the program will look like once Corel integrates such functionality into it. In my opinion, it will completely change the way we use this program. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see or if you'd like me to create a tutorial on ADK. Feel free to share your feedback in the comments. May your designs always be beautiful. See you next time.